Video listeners, ignore my awful sunburn for the whole podcast. Everyone else, welcome to the Mario Matter, your favorite Nintendo podcast, episode 150. Bit of a mini little milestone there. Thank you all for tuning in. I am your host, Nintendo YouTuber EmSwizzle, and we have so much to discuss today. It'll be a great episode. We are beginning with Nintendo news per usual. We're going to recap the Pokémon Presents. We have some Lego Nintendo announcements. We have Mario Party Jamboree, the DLC for Switch 2. After that, it's been essentially confirmed now, and I'll explain why. There's a Direct next week, a big old Nintendo Direct next week. I'm going to go over my predictions and what I believe we will see in that Direct. After that, I will answer your questions you all asked me in the Q&A segment, the question block. If you want to skip anywhere in the whole podcast, there are timestamps down below. Otherwise, let's not waste your time and get to Nintendo news now.
Welcome to the Mario Matter, the #1 Nintendo podcast.
Okay, so you all want to know the story of my sunburn, don't you? So, yesterday I was in Latrobe, Pennsylvania at the Pittsburgh Steelers football team, training camp. Fans can attend. And so I went and just didn't wear sunscreen. I'm outside for like 5 hours. It's awful, okay? Like, this is the second time I've been sunburnt in the past few months due to just stupidity. The first time was after I waited outside GameStop for over, 26 hours? 28 hours? Maybe even more. What was it? It was like, I forget now. But when I waited outside, I got sunburnt as well. So that was bad. It was 25 hours. I got sunburnt then, not good. So now it's the second time this summer. I'm way smarter than this. I usually am, but today and yesterday and a few months ago were not one of those days where I was smart. So anyways, that's my little story. Audio listeners can't even tell. Haha. But if you go to the video version, you can tell. Anyways, let's dive into Nintendo news. No sunburn can stop me. Let's dive in. And let's go, I wouldn't say chronologically, but let's go in somewhat of an order. I'm going to begin this podcast by talking about the Pokémon Presents. Yes, folks, we have known for a while there was going to be a Pokémon Presents live stream on July 22nd. We, of course, got that this week. What are my thoughts? What was shown? All that good stuff. Let's break it down at the top of this show here. So, Pokémon Presents, I wake up, all is well. I go down to my studio, I live stream it, and it's a freaking Pokémon Presents, okay? I go into it knowing that the first 15 minutes are just gonna be Netflix show, Pokemon Unite update, Pokemon Go update, Pokemon TCG Pocket, Pokemon stop motion. Like, they never run out of things to just stall the first 15 minutes with, which is totally fine that they do that, because if you're doing a Pokemon presentation, it's not just Switch players tuning in, it's players who also play those games. It makes sense. I just myself hate it. I myself couldn't care less. That's just me, okay? So then we get, all those updates. The first bit of real news we see, I believe this was first, it might have been second. I'm going to go in this order though. Pokémon Champions, that little battle game that is still, for whatever reason, on the featured section of the eShop, got a half release date. It's releasing in 2026. We don't know much about it. It looks to be a battle-focused game. That's all we really know. It's on the eShop with a TBD listing, so if you want to go and find it, you can. But after that, and let's talk about this, guys. So, this is far after we got all those mobile app updates, Pokémon Champions. The next notable announcement in this Pokémon Presents for Nintendo Switch players would have been a new piece of software that is released on mobile and the Switch 1 and Switch 2 That is Pokémon Friends. Now, Pokemon Friends, totally new software. Essentially what you do in Pokemon Friends, it is a $10 game, which is something that we'll talk about. It's a $10 game where you kind of, I'm kind of foggy. This was last Tuesday. It's Friday now. So, 3 days. You have this little shop, it appears, or it's your own home or something, and you have a bunch of yarn, but it's all tangled up. So you do these puzzles to untangle it. For example, the puzzles would be something like, Pikachu is at point A. Can you connect all the dots in this grid without overlapping and, get to point B? That's a puzzle. Then it would switch to rotate this box to save the Pokemon. And then, the Pokemon would, fall out of the box or whatever. It's like tiny puzzle after tiny puzzle after tiny puzzle. And after that, hey, you untangled some yarn. With this yarn, you can make Pokemon plushies. And then with those Pokemon plushies, you can collect them all. You can display them in a little room. It's a cute little $10 game, and that's pretty much all there is to it. You can talk to townsfolk, and they can request, can I have a Pikachu plush? And you can do it for them. But that's essentially what the game is. Okay, it's basically that. So when I see this though in the Pokemon Presents, my thought is, oh, a free Pokemon game. Guys, $10. $10 for this game, okay? But it doesn't end there. If you want the full game experience and full content, it is going to be $34 for the game and the 2 packs of DLC. They have a combo pack deal, which I bought so I can get the full experience. $34 for a game of mini puzzles and, some other charm to it, okay? Listen, my overall take on Pokemon Friends is as follows. These few words, ready? Awesome, but extremely overpriced. Guys, even with all of the DLC, this should have been a free game. I know mobile games. You name any sort of mobile puzzle game that has more puzzles than Pokemon Friends does, and it's fully free. Why are they charging us money, like $10 each, for more tiny puzzles to do? Insanely overpriced, makes no sense in the world, but the game is fun. The game is fun. It is a fun game to play. It's just extremely overpriced. Extremely. $34 for the full game's content when you look at the game, it looks free. Extremely overpriced, but it's a fun thing to play. So if you want, you can pay $10 for the game. I enjoy how the game plays and how it works and the concept. I enjoy that. It's fun. But you better have that $34 that you spend, you better have found on the sidewalk, walking to, do whatever. That better be some spare money. Oh, I had $34 in my piggy bank. Exactly. Use that money. Don't spend your hard-earned money, okay? You can, but to the average consumer who's maybe on the edge, you don't need this game. Download Candy Crush will be good enough. Download what's that game with all the bugs or Best Fiends? Download that. You don't need Pokemon Friends. But I believe, so I'm talking for Nintendo Switch users. I have not checked, but I am to believe it's free on mobile, or is it also paid on mobile? I'm strictly talking about Nintendo Switch. Pokemon Friends. Yeah, it's free on mobile. So you know what? Just get it on mobile. Just get it on Oh, okay. Wait, so why does it cost so much on Switch? What am I missing? It looks like the exact same game. Okay. You know what? I'm done. Pokemon Friends, $34. I paid it. I have a lot of content to play, but it's overpriced. After that, we had some Pokemon Legends ZA footage, and you all know me. I mean, if you do. If you don't, then nice to meet you. I'm not the world's biggest Pokemon fan. Now, when I say that, usually when people say I'm not a big fan, what they're saying is I'm not a fan at all, right? I am a fan. 100% I am a Pokemon fan. But I'm not a Pokemon fan to the point where I know everything that is going on in trailers. Like, if you show me an Animal Crossing trailer, a Mario trailer, Mario Kart, I can look at it and go, that's new, that's new, that's new, that's new. Splatoon, you name it. Chibi Robo, if you want to go there. I can look at a trailer and know what I'm seeing. Pokemon, I don't always know what's new. So thankfully, I was streaming and people were telling me, oh, Mega Dragonite and all that good stuff, you know, things that I wouldn't have picked up on. Just because I'm not a very in-the-weeds Pokemon fan. I never grew up with the Pokemon cards. I've played Pokemon games and finished them, but like, these things I just forget. I don't know. I'm weird, aren't I? Like, I've even beat Scarlet. I beat Violet. Pokemon Violet, not Scarlet. So I'm up to date in everything, but I just forget things. I don't know when things are happening. So I say all of that to say I didn't really get too much out of the brand new Pokemon ZA footage. I just didn't get much out of it. But to be honest, I think I even said it on stream, I don't need to get much out of it. I don't need to see any more of this game. I feel like I've seen enough. I've seen the new features. I've seen where the game takes place. I've seen the characters. I've seen how the game works and all the good stuff. It is a Pokemon Legends game. I get it. I myself do not need to see more of this. I have seen enough. I am ready to just dive in October 16th. That's it. Zip, zada, nothing. I saw it all. So, could be a hot take. I don't know if it is, but that's just kind of how I feel. I'm sold. Like, you don't have to keep selling me. I'm sold. Don't keep selling me on the game that I'm already sold on. Because if you keep doing that, I might be out. I'm kidding. I'll buy it no matter what. I'll buy Pokemon Legends ZA if it just has freaking Mario Bros. Atari on there, okay? So I will buy it. But apart from that, folks, the only other piece of news that I would be missing, I think, is just that they announced, not in the Pokémon Presents, which is weird, but right afterwards, Nintendo announced there is a Nintendo Switch 2 bundle, I believe in all or most regions, that has Pokemon Legends ZA in the bundle. So it is a $500 bundle of a Switch 2, not a special edition, but just a bundle. You get a Switch 2 and the game for a grand total of $500, effectively saving you $20. That makes the game $50, because obviously Switch 2 is a $450 price. If it's $500 and comes with the game, you're paying $50. So you save $20 on buying Pokemon Legends ZA. It is a digital download, and that's about it, folks. That's all they wrote. So apart from that, let's move on. Pokémon Presents, I would give, listen, me being a non-Pokemon fan, I would give that presentation like a 4 out of 10. I shouldn't say non-Pokemon fan. I am a very, 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 very casual fan. So I guess as a casual fan, 4 out of 10. I don't play the mobiles. I don't watch the Netflix. I just play Switch. And for Switch, a game coming out next year, an overpriced puzzle game, and footage that, as a casual fan who doesn't know what's going on, I didn't get much from. So, for that reason, for me personally, 4 out of 10. But hey, if you're a big Pokemon fan listening, I'm happy for you. It just ain't for me. And you might feel that way about Animal Crossing. When the next Animal Crossing Direct happens, and you're not into it, that's how I feel. So, everyone has their likes, everyone has their, I like it, but I'm not into it. Pokemon would be that. Anyways, next piece of news. Guys, remember when Nintendo announced a Lego Game Boy? Well, we have that revealed. We have the price revealed. We have the amount of pieces revealed. We have everything, all the details about that Lego Game Boy. Let's dive into that. So first things first, we knew it was coming this year. We didn't know when. Well, we kind of knew the later half of this year, but we didn't have a date. So let's dive into the details. This has been revealed to be a 421 piece Lego Game Boy. We will have pictures on screen, links down below if you want to check it out for yourself, and it'll be $60, which is honestly a lot less than I thought, knowing Lego and knowing Nintendo. So, what is the set? Well, it's of course a Game Boy, and with the Game Boy, it comes with a Link's Awakening and a Super Mario Land cartridge that, look like they could slot right into the Game Boy. It's, almost like a exact replica of a Game Boy. And I've been told, I cannot confirm because I don't have the thing in my hands. I've been told it is about the same size as a Game Boy. I cannot confirm, but that's what a lot of articles were saying. So I'm going to take their word for it, but just know that doesn't come from me. I only put that warning out there because I know some things look bigger online than they do in person. So just putting that little warning out there, but it should be, about the same size. The Game Boy is not that big, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's, same size. And then also, along with the Link's Awakening and Mario Land cartridge, you will also be able to, be able to put these screens inside of the Lego Game Boy, and it'll look like you are playing those games. So, for example, if you build the Game Boy standard, it'll say, Nintendo, on the screen or whatever. If you put these alternate screens in the Lego Game Boy, it'll look like you're playing the games. You know what? I actually explained that pretty well first try. I shouldn't have tried to explain that more in depth. But anyways, you get what I'm saying. It's like little flat screens. You pop them in the Game Boy. Bam. So that release is. Did I not write the release date? I believe it's October 1st. But let me just confirm that with you. Oh, guys, everyone, please applaud for how prepared I come to this podcast. Yes, it is going to be, guys, drum roll. Everyone, October 1st. My memory serves me very, very correct. $60. That is the price of a Nintendo Switch 1 game. So do with that what you will. I don't know if it's worth it to you. I thought it would be closer to 80, but it's not too bad. Anyways, next piece of news can be a little bit of a quick one. Nintendo has confirmed they are attending PAX West. Now, why is that a big deal? What is PAX West? You may have these questions. Well, PAX West is a gaming convention that takes place in Seattle. You may have heard of PAX East in Boston. And essentially, Nintendo is going to be there. And if you want to know why this means anything, last year they were showing demos of Mario Party Jamboree, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and games like that before they even released. So if you are a casual fan, whatever, and you're going to PAX West, you got to play those games before anybody else got to play those games. So it's cool in that way. Now, Max, will you be going to PAX West? So I did apply, and I did get approved. However, I contacted the people and said, I gotta see what Nintendo's doing first before I really commit to going, since I live on the total opposite side of America. And they said, sure. So we know Nintendo's there. And if they announce, hey, we're going to show Kirby Air Riders, we're going to show freaking Metroid Prime 4, assuming that it's not out yet by PAX West time, we're going to show the new Animal Crossing, I'm in. If they announce, hey, we're going to have demos of Captain Toad, Treasure Tracker, and Mario Golf Super Rush, I'm not going. So we'll see what they do. They have not said what they will do. I imagine this Direct next week will tell us what they're going to show at PAX West. Then I will go. If you're going, comment down below. Maybe you'll see me, assuming that I go. Anyways, that's cool. Next, let's dive into this. So, Nintendo released a cool thing this week. They released Super Mario Party Jamboree, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, plus Jamboree TV. Now, what that is a $20 Mario Party Jamboree, essentially DLC that is exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2. It makes the game 4K and everything. It is a Switch 2 edition, and they added DLC. They added Jamboree TV, and I can read you a bunch of the modes and everything, but I have not played the game yet. And I know a lot of you like to tune into these podcasts to hear what I think about these brand new games, and I'm sorry. I was a little caught up yesterday in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, when the game released. But what I can do is two things. I will make it up to you. So, number one, I'm not trying to promote things that are behind a paywall. I'm just putting it out there because it is happening. If you can't pay for this, you're totally fine. I have memberships on my main YouTube channel, EmSwizzle, for as low as $1.99 a month, or just one time. You can get access to this Sunday's live stream where we play Mario Party Jamboree DLC with you. Anyone can join as long as you have the game and there's not 90 people trying to play with me. Anyone can join. That's behind a paywall. If you do not or cannot pay for that, I totally understand. I try to make, I have behind paywall stuff, but I try to make most things free, obviously, and I feel like I do a good job of that. Paywall stuff is more like just a bonus kind of content thing. If you can't pay for that or you don't want to, totally fine. I will be joining C.com, Dano, and Johnny Razor on C.com's YouTube channel this weekend, good friends of mine, to play Super Mario Party Jamboree DLC with them live on C.com's stream. I will not be streaming it because it's complicated. I was telling C. Where I stream and do my desk work, I can play my Nintendo Switch 2 there, but my Nintendo Switch 2 camera and my actual Switch 2 are located on the opposite side of the room. What that means is I can't use the Switch 2 camera, I can't, use the freaking microphone, all that kind of stuff, okay? So I'll be playing on my couch where I do not have my streaming equipment, and I'll be calling into the stream with my AirPods in or on speakerphone or something. So, I probably wouldn't have streamed it anyways. It's his collab, it's his thing. I want to give him all the attention, obviously. So I probably wouldn't have streamed it in the first place. But, I'll be there. Of course, those guys are good friends of mine. So I'll leave the link to the stream, assuming that it's, a scheduled live stream that I can link to you all. I'll leave it somewhere at the top of the description. If you all are ever looking for the links that I mentioned in this podcast, if you scroll in the description, look for the link that says sources and links. All links are in there. But for this Mario Party link, I'll try to leave it towards the top-ish of the description. So look forward to it. I believe it's Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. So look forward to it. Anyways, our last piece of news? Yeah. Last piece of news before Nintendo Direct predictions. We do have this to laugh about, guys. So, let's start here. I believe this was Tuesday. It might have been Monday. I'm just on Twitter, okay? And I don't have Twitter on my phone. I have it on my computer, rather. I go on Twitter. One of the first things I see is a brand new video game announced. Not a Nintendo game, not a Sega game, not a Bandai Namco or nothing, right? It's made by Outright Games, if you all have ever heard of them before. And if you haven't, they make a lot of, kids games, right? Like, I don't know if they've made Dora games, but they definitely would if they could, right? Like, that's who they are. So, what game did they announce Monday or Tuesday, whenever it was? I feel like it was Tuesday. I don't know. They announced the Elf on the Shelf Christmas Heroes. This, we have not seen much. There's no real trailer out for it, but it appears to be a platformer of some sort. And now, Max, why are you bringing this up on the podcast? Why would that be? Guys, if you all have listened to this podcast for some time, you all know I have been just asking for Nintendo Switch, PS5, Xbox, Christmas games of some sort, right? I got my wish, but at what cost? Because this game looks pretty cursed. When I asked for more Christmas games on the Switch or any platform, this is not what I talked about. This is not what I meant. What I meant was, have you all ever played We Wish You a Merry Christmas on the Nintendo Wii? You should, because I had the honor of interviewing the developers for that game last December. Go find that episode. It was a fun one. But that Christmas game is the best Christmas game that was ever made for a video game system ever. Very confident in saying that. The Elf on the Shelf Christmas Heroes would most likely not fit into that category of best Christmas game ever made for a platform. I could be wrong, but this thing looks cursed. I wanted to bring it up because I know I have a Christmas audience of some sort. Not really, but like, we're all festive over here, right? Like, come on. So it's a cool thing to talk about. Now, if you thought that was the piece of news, I mean, that's part of it, right? But listen to this. So Tuesday, Elf on the Shelf. Thursday, I think. Thursday, was it? Wednesday? One of these two. I think it was Wednesday. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is coming to Nintendo Switch as well. 2 Christmas game announcements in 1 week. I think the Rudolph one, though, is being made by Game Mill something. I don't know if they're any better. We got 2 just horrendous Christmas games announced in 1 week. And not just any Christmas games. Like, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Like, Rudolph as in the movie. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer movie. Like that Rudolph. Elf on the Shelf is in every kid's home. Or at least was. And both of these bangers got announced in the same week. What are my chances? So, I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm buying both. I don't care. I'm buying both. Elf on the Shelf releases October 17th. That is going to rival Pokemon Legends ZA. Guys, which one are you buying? October 16th, Pokemon Legends ZA, or October 17th, the Elf on the Shelf Christmas Heroes? Which one are you buying? I might put that as a poll on my YouTube community tab. That'd be funny. But which one are you buying? I'll do both. Do you all want an Elf on the Shelf Christmas Heroes review? Because I can do it for you. Like a little 5-minute something when the game comes out. But I'm not sure if I'll play it right away. Because who wants to play a Christmas game in October? I might buy it and save it. Or you know what? Just wait until like mid-November. It's $40. It'll be like $15 on Amazon. Just wait for a sale. Please wait for a sale. Do not buy it at launch. No one wants to play a Christmas game in October. They're both $40. The Rudolph game, I don't believe has a release date, but it says like this holiday season. So, we could assume like November or something. Listen, there's only a few good Christmas games in the world. We Wish You a Merry Christmas is number 1. The second best one would be like Santa Claus is Coming to Town for the Wii. But even that one wasn't like phenomenal. So it's tough out here for Christmas fans. But we have these. I'll play them. It's modern day shovelware. We'll see how it goes. They should like collab and do like a bundle pack. Bundle Elf on the Shelf and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Like, 1 cartridge, 2 games type of deal, Last thing I'll say, these games are coming out for the Switch, but not the Switch 2. Like, it's not the Switch 2 branding. I think that's kind of weird, You would think that any sort of new games that release would have a Switch 2 box. Like, if that makes sense. You know, like, what if you owned a Wii U? And like, imagine that the Wii U was actually successful. Like actually successful. And imagine some games just like released exclusively for the Wii. Like, that's just kind of weird, isn't it? Like, it's kind of weird. Obviously, it's still playable, right? But it's just weird. Like, why not just make a box for the shiny new system? Because Lord knows, there's hardly any of those. If you go into Walmart, Target, GameStop, there's only so many Nintendo Switch 2 game boxes. Why not make your game stand out and make a Nintendo Switch 2 game box? Maybe it's harder than I'm making it sound. I don't know. And that's just weird. Anyways, anywho, let's get to the next segment, folks, which is where I give my final Nintendo Direct predictions. Now, you all might want to know, Max, why do you think there's a Direct next week? I don't think it. There's a very credible leaker. You all may know his name. His name is Nate the Hate. He is online. And ever since he leaked the date the Nintendo Switch 2 would be revealed, I've trusted him. Nobody was backing this up. And he was like, guys, January 16th, it'll happen. And it happened. Ever since then, I take this guy's word like, you know, very seriously, I should say. So, he now came out and said, Direct after Donkey Kong Bonanza. No Direct was this week. It's got to be next week. Sorry, Direct in July after Bonanza. It's got to be next week, right? So, taking his word for it, VGC also just came out and said Direct imminently. That was their exact words. So, all signs point to a Direct next week. If you don't believe us, come back next week and see if there was a Direct. Because it seems like, you know, from watching people give rumors, the people who are saying Direct next week, I can trust them. Nate the Hate and VGC. You can trust these people. So, there is a Direct next week. With that said, let's go ahead, get to our next segment where I predict 5 things I believe we will see in the Nintendo Direct next week. Let's go. So, folks, Nintendo Direct next week. It should be a fantastic time. I'm going to come on here and predict 5 things I believe that we will see in that Direct. Now, I will give this warning, this disclaimer, this whatever you want to call it, okay? Usually, when I come on this podcast and I predict things, you have to make it entertaining, right? Like, you have to make it fun. So I'm throwing out like Splatoon 4 and Mario Maker 3 and, you know. I thought it'd be a pretty fun challenge to try and just, you know, it doesn't matter if your predictions are boring. Just try to go 5 for 5. Get every single prediction right, even if they're boring. So, I have 5 predictions here that I think are things we will see in the Nintendo Direct next week. 3 of them are boring. Only like 2 of these are actually boring. 3 of them are like pretty safe. Like, I just picked things, boring or not boring, not outlandish, that we will most definitely see in this Direct. And next week, I'm going to talk to our guest and kind of review how good I did on these predictions. So, we're trying to go 5 for 5 here. Let's read you my first prediction I think we will get in next week's Direct. And first up, like, this is not the safest prediction of all time, but I think it's most definitely going to happen. And that is Metroid Prime 4 release date and Metroid Prime 2 and 3. Now, I know I have predicted exactly that in the past. Exactly to a T, that prediction. However, Metroid Prime 2 and 3 have been leaked for years. Rumor is those games are already done and just waiting to be released. If you all remember, Pikmin 1 and 2 released about 1 month before Pikmin 4 released. Assuming Metroid Prime 4 really comes out this year, maybe in September, this would be perfect timing. I know I've made this prediction in the past, but if it's not now, it truly is never. So, that's why I feel very strongly about it. I think this will be something that we see in the Direct. Metroid Prime 2 and 3 just make all the sense in the world to bring to Nintendo Switch 2 and Switch 1 users. And also, Switch 1 users are kind of down in the freaking dumps. Like, you've had to watch Mario Kart World, Welcome Tour of all things. I should not have even said that one. And Bonanza all release. Like, where are your games at? So if they release Metroid Prime 2 and 3, same day as the Direct, you now have something new to play. So I'm sure they're also thinking about that as well. They want something out there for Switch 1 owners. This would be it. So I think that's going to be in the Direct somewhere. Could be towards the end, could be the first thing, who knows, but that's going to be somewhere. Next, I think that we will 100%, guys, this is just me trying to get all my predictions right. They're not the most fun predictions, but I think that we will see Miyamoto shirtless. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. I think that we will see Kirby Air Riders footage. I think that we have to see Kirby Air Riders footage. The game comes out this year. I'm betting on November. When I'm right, come tell me. Comes out this year. It could be September. I don't know. Comes out this year, and we've not seen one lick of footage or even a screenshot. All we saw was a cinematic trailer. It wasn't actual gameplay, because it always says, not actual gameplay. It wasn't gameplay. It was a cinematic teaser. I think we will see like a few minutes of footage or something in this Direct. So, second prediction, Kirby Air Riders footage. And this is not my prediction, but you will most definitely get a release date for it. So, tune into that. Now, if I get any prediction wrong, it's going to be this one. But I just feel kind of strongly about this. So, I think that we will get, and I made this one a little bit broad, so excuse me here, but I think we will get either one of the two. Either Mario Sunshine or Chibi Robo on Nintendo Switch Online GameCube. One of the two. I'm not saying both, just one. Either this or that one. It could be both, I don't know. But what I mean by getting both of those on GameCube, I mean getting a release date for the not so distant future. For example, me getting this prediction right would mean, also guys, Chibi Robo releases on August 19th for the Nintendo Switch Online service. Look forward to it. That counts as me getting it right. Just a not so far off release date is kind of what I'm predicting here for one of the two. They could save Mario for September or something like that, but I think one of the two will be good. Because, Mario Sunshine is a summery sort of game. We're in summer, ain't we? So, I think that could definitely happen. We'll see. Then, I think that we'll just get, as my fourth prediction, I think that we will just get a stupid, just terribly stupid Drag X Drive trailer. Oh, coming out August. What's it, 14th? August 14th. No one wants to see it. Everyone knows this game's coming out. Well, everyone that wants to know. I'm sure a lot of people don't care. Everyone who wants to buy this game knows, okay, mid-August. We don't care. But I can guarantee you that will be in the Direct. Do we want it? No. Will it happen? Yes. That's my prediction there. Finally, my final Nintendo Nintendo Direct prediction. I was reading both words at once. I can't talk. Direct and prediction. My final prediction is going to be a Mario Kart World update. There's been a lot of backlash. A lot of, this game is not worth $80. A lot of, this is wrong, that's wrong, this, that, all about Mario Kart World. And I think there's no better time to do an update than now. Smoothing out that backlash. Add Donkey Kong Bonanza outfits. Give Pauline new outfits. Something like that, you know? Add a 13-year-old Pauline into the game. All of this sort of stuff, right? Like, add a Bonanza-themed update. It's perfect timing. There's a reason you do a direct in July after Bonanza comes out and not before Bonanza comes out. There's a reason you do that. I think this makes a whole lot of sense. I'm not necessarily predicting a Bonanza update. It could just be, new battle mode, or it could just be this new 1 or 2 characters are coming to the game. It could be something like that. We will see what they have in store. I think it'll just be some sort of cool Mario Kart World something. Some sort of update, some sort of trailer for it. It could even be paid DLC. Will it be paid DLC? Absolutely not. It's way too early. I'm just saying, I'm predicting some update for the game. Something that makes the version number go up. So, anything of that sort, I get it right. But, guys, let me know. Let me know, first of all, your predictions for the Direct next week, and also your prediction on how well I will do. Do you think I will go 5 for 5, get them all right? Will I go 3 for 5 and get 3 of my predictions right? Let me know how you think I will do in terms of predictions come next Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday when the Direct actually happens. Also, because, I have you all here, tune into our podcast next Saturday because for most of you, I am bringing on a fan favorite guest. I want to give a hint, but I honestly think fan favorite will just, you know what? Let's do this. I'm bringing on our most recurring guest next week. So tune into that episode. Now, folks, it is time to get to your favorite segment of the week. It is time to get to the question block segment where I, EmSwizzle, answer your questions you asked me. Let's go ahead. Let's get to it. Ding! Welcome to the question block segment, folks. I'm your host, EmSwizzle, and we are answering your questions you asked me. If you want to ask questions to answer on the podcast, there are a couple ways to do so. Number one, where it seems to be like the most popular is on my EmSwizzle YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/@EmSwizzle. You can go to my community tab and leave your question on this cursed Nintendo image post that I post every single Tuesday. It sounds kind of complicated to find that, but if you're subscribed to my main channel, it'll most likely just pop up in your feed. That's what most people do. If that's too advanced and you don't feel like doing all that, no worries. I have a Discord server, linked down below, where you can join. And there's a channel called Podcast Questions. Throw your questions in there. If you don't have Discord and YouTube sounds too complex, what you can do is just email mariomatterquestions@gmail.com. That's it. Very simple. Just send your question through there. We make it simple for everyone to send a question. If you like Discord, you can do that. If you're subscribed to my main channel, that method is easier for you. Or if you email is great. So I will say, it is mariomatterquestions@gmail.com. I no longer run my business email, so if you send emails to that email, chances are I won't see it, I won't get it, and I probably won't respond to you. So, mariomatterquestions@gmail.com. Thank you very, very much for any questions submitted. I know I cannot get to all of them, but thank you for even being interested in sending a question. I hope by episode 1000, everyone who is listening up to this point, episode 150, has had their question answered at least one time. Anyways, let's go here. Jit310 asks, Max, congrats on episode 150. Thank you. What made you start your own podcast? That's a good one. I've told this story before, but let's tell it again because it's been some time. Okay, so a lot of you know I began YouTube as an Animal Crossing New Horizons channel. If you didn't know that, there you go. When Animal Crossing New Horizons came out in March of 2020, I was only making videos on that game. Fast forward a few years, I wasn't growing a whole lot. I was at maybe 2,500 subscribers, which is, respectable. I'm just like, I wasn't big time or anything. So I was at that point and I was kind of not considering quitting, but I knew I needed to pivot my content and just took a few months of a break to kind of figure out what was next. In the meantime, while I'm kind of on this break while I figure out what to do next, I began the Mario Matter, which began on my main channel, EmSwizzle, before it was moved to this podcast YouTube channel. I began it as a way to keep weekly content going and not betray my channel. And I had seen some other people do, Nintendo podcasts, and I was like, this is a cool way to kind of keep my channel half alive. So I did it. I did a bunch of episodes. At first it wasn't weekly. It was like bi-weekly. But later on, it became a weekly thing. We used to post oh my gosh. Do OG Mario Matter listeners even know what day that I posted? Like when I first began doing weekly, it was never always Saturday. Was it Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday because I would record on Tuesday. I think, yeah, it was Wednesday. I used to post every single Wednesday, which is crazy that I'm even like having trouble forgetting that because we've been doing Saturday only for like a year or two. So like it wasn't that long ago I was posting every single Wednesday. So I would post every Wednesday and I could never like interact with the comments right away because I was always I went to like boxing and kickboxing classes pretty much right when the podcast came out. So I could never like interact and stuff or like be in the live chats because I used to premiere them on YouTube. So there was a live chat feature. I could never be active. It wasn't until, I don't know if it was until this podcast channel or if I began doing it a little bit sooner on my main channel when I began to shift this podcast to every single Saturday. I love that day so much better. Because for a Nintendo news podcast, if you post Wednesday and there's a direct Thursday, you cannot talk about that for the next week. Whereas with posting on Saturday, I record this Friday. Nintendo makes no major announcements Friday. So all the news has came and I can talk about it all. We usually don't miss anything big. We sometimes miss things, but like, if we miss anything, it'll be a rumor. Like, it won't be official Nintendo proper news. Like, they will never announce a direct Friday. It'll happen Saturday. They don't work on weekends, So, like, we're pretty covered there, right? But essentially, that's why I began the podcast, to talk about Nintendo news and topics and keep my struggling channel alive. Wasn't too long after that I found YouTube Shorts and kind of made my way. But that's kind of how it started. Spooky Knight asks, who did you look up to when you were younger? The Clouds. No. I guess you mean like on YouTube or just in general? In general's hard. So I'm going to go with the YouTube route. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people. A lot of people ask like, who is my favorite YouTuber? I don't know if I have one today, but I used to. I used to watch a lot of, and you all might still, FGTV. Eventually, I kind of grew out of their content, but they're great. I actually did I tell you all this? I met the FGTV dad and one of the sons. Oh, that's gonna escape me. I met them at a boxing match that I was at. I met them there. cool people, very nice people. My God. Like, some of these YouTube people have, like, the biggest egos. No egos, these guys. So props to them. And then I'd say FGTV was one. Crazy enough, I liked Lamar Wilson. Still do. Lamar Wilson had, like, the funniest unboxings of all time. Lamar Wilson's great. He even made, like, you know, Nintendo stuff. I would say if there's any Nintendo creators that inspired me, it probably would have been, I mean, Lamar Wilson's not a Nintendo channel. He was more of like a tech channel, but he made Nintendo things, and he was like the only person that I watched. Probably him and like iJustine were like the only people making Nintendo things that I watched back in 2017. So I would say those two, well, those three now. Anybody else? You know what? I can do this for you all. I can pull up my old YouTube account and like just see who I was subscribed to. Like, why not? If I have it, do I have it? I might not. Oh, do I have it? Yes. Okay, here we go. Let's see. But I'm only gonna name you like the people. Excuse me, the people who like really had an impact. To be honest, I'm not seeing many people at the moment. I watch a lot of FIFA YouTubers. I'm subscribed to like a lot of the sidemen. Oh, I was subscribed to CND. I don't remember watching his content, but I must have. Okay, CND. No one else like Nintendo-y though. It's all like FIFA YouTubers, you know? Like, yeah, there's nothing else really to report from here, to be honest. Yeah, I'd say that's about. I was subscribed to okay. So here's my subscription to Lamar Wilson. I've been subscribed. I wish it would tell you how long you've been subscribed. I think there's a way to find out, but it's not a very easy thing to do. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Kind of what I told you, to be honest. Lamar Wilson, iJustine made like Switch stuff sometimes, and FGTV didn't really make. Well, they might do Switch stuff, but I didn't watch them for that. I watched them for like Skylanders. So that's about it. Thank you for the question. Can I read this name? I have to get close. I have to get close to my monitors here. Cairo asks, "Hello, Max. Congrats on episode 150. Thank you. If you were the head of Nintendo, how would you celebrate Mario's 40th anniversary?" From start to finish, let's do this. We start by announcing a collection of games. We pretty much just copy 3D All-Stars and release Super Mario 3D Land, Galaxy 2, and remaster, like actually, well, no. Galaxy 2, Mario 3D Land. And then, yeah, let's make the game $70, but instead of including Mario 64, let's make a full remake. Well, I was going to say a remake of Mario 64, but you would want to sell that alone, probably. I don't know. Maybe just those two games? Am I forgetting one? Oh, wait. No, I'm not. Wait. Am I forgetting a Mario game that I'm just being stupid about? 3D Land, Galaxy 2, because we already have Galaxy 1, Sunshine, and 64. All right, and insert one more Mario game here. Okay. Oh, 3D Land. No, I was gonna say bring in new Super Mario Bros. Bring in 3D Land, Galaxy 2, and new Super Mario Bros. Wii. Yeah, make that a little bundle pack for $70. And then what you can do, put that out there. Then we're going to release like 97 Mario Lego sets, okay? Then we're going to release Mario Paint for the SNES that has mouse functionality. Then we're going to release a free piece of Mario software, just like how they did Mario Bros. 35. However, it'll not be like Mario Bros. 35. It'll be something totally unique and new. Then we're going to... that's where it gets a little bit tough. I think then what we'll do, and like all the while, we'll be like selling cool Mario things. We'll like sell some amiibo and like promotional items and things like that. And My Nintendo Platinum points, we'll be getting some rewards and all that. I don't know what's going to happen between the free piece of software and what I'm about to say, but some more stuff in between there. You end off all of the Mario's 40th celebrations with announcing and putting out a release date or something for just simply enough the next 3D Mario. I would be satisfied. I'd be very bro, that Mario 3-pack would make the whole thing for me. That would be great. That would be enough. And then, you announce 3D Mario after it. That'd be great. So I would go somewhere along those lines, drop some amiibo or something, do it up. But apart from that, our last question comes from Ryan, who asks, oh, this is funny. Which Nintendo YouTuber inspired you to create amazing content for your channel? Congrats on reaching 150 episodes on the best Nintendo podcast. Ryan, thank you so much. We kind of did answer that, so I can pick one more question. But the answer, I never watched, the Nintendo YouTubers now, were either not big or were not around in 2017. Or either they just began in 2017 or something like that, right? They might have just began. I don't know. But Lamar Wilson and iJustine are the Nintendo tech YouTuber goats back in 2017. You couldn't beat them, bro. So I would probably say those two. Once again, not Nintendo YouTubers, but Nintendo video making people occasionally. I did begin in 2020, but when I began Nintendo YouTube, Animal Crossing YouTube, I didn't know any Nintendo YouTubers at that point. I just simply didn't, because at that time in my life, you all have to understand, if the pandemic didn't happen, I was never this into video games. I mean, I was, but not Nintendo, I should say. Not Nintendo games. I was a gamer. I would play sports games. I was kind of like the middle school liked sports kind of guy. I still like sports, obviously. But I'm more into Nintendo now. So I was not consuming Nintendo YouTube content. So I didn't know anybody. So I would say mostly tech YouTubers who made Nintendo stuff was cool for me to watch. So I will answer one more question that I can find, just because that one maybe... Ryan, great question, but we had already answered it, which is not your fault, obviously. So I will go to our Discord server and find a question. Da Cow asks, we just talked about this too. Da Cow asks, what is next for Mario Kart World? We predicted a Mario Kart World update. Let's go. Spectre asks, what special editions do you think will be made for the Switch 2 and or Pro Controller? I think I'm going to give you two for each. Animal Crossing is a must for a console. And honestly, dude, I would have predicted Legend ZA for a special edition, but I guess not. So Animal Crossing and the next 3D Mario, those are just total must-haves. Must-have special editions. And then for controllers, I would go, not to be boring, I'm just doing what Nintendo historically does, which is a Splatoon for Pro Controller, and the next one's tough. I would say I don't know, because they're kind of random for their Pro Controller. Like, Smash Bros. Got one, Xenoblade has one, or two, or something. Splatoon, yeah. I go Splatoon. It's just tough to see, like, Mario getting... Like, Mario's never had a special edition Pro Controller, right? Like, that's one that you would think of, but not historically. Well, you know what? Yeah. I'll say a Mario Pro Controller, because, like, they've done Mario Wii remotes, those knockoff Mario GameCube control. Well, not knockoff, but, like, spin-off Mario GameCube controllers. They've done, I swear there's been more Mario stuff that I'm just forgetting about. Oh, what a bad time to forget things while I'm naming examples. Yeah, okay, I forget. I admit it. But I think a Mario Pro Controller would just be phenomenal. But folks, that is it for the Mario Matter episode 150. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. It means so much. I hope that you all have an amazing weekend. Have a good one. Play some Switch or some Switch 2. We'll be back next Saturday to talk about the Nintendo Direct and break it all down. It'll be a great time. And if there is no Direct, we have a lot of people to call out and be like, hey, so you said there'd be a Direct, huh? So either we're going to talk about a Direct or we're going to get a little spicy. But with that said, folks, I will see you all next Saturday. If you made it this far, comment down below the word waffle so I know that you made it this far, and we'll confuse everyone who didn't make it this far. And with that said, leave us a 5-star rating on Spotify and Apple. That would help a lot. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll see you all next Saturday to break down the Direct with C.com. Adios.